Alright, hello everyone. So today I will talk about an important and timely topic, the plans to relocate Indonesia's capital to a new city IKN, and why a rapid move could pose significant economic risk. Then while our discussions will explore the core challenge and propose a prudent path forward for sustainable development. The first one, I'm going to have an introductions to our future capital city. Well, Indonesia has ambitious plans to build a sustainable smart city as the new capital, known as IKN. The city aims to drive balanced economic growth across the country, relieve Jakarta's chronic problems such as overcrowding and pollution, and be funded by mixed government and foreign private investments. However, the reality is quite different from the fictions. There are several points that I want to discuss. The first one is the myriad of foreign investment. One of the biggest challenges is the lack of concrete commitments from international investors. Building a new capital is a massive, decades-long project with high upfront risk and no guaranteed short-term returns. Current global economic uncertainties, such as inflation and geopolitical conflicts, make investors cautious rather than eager to invest. Then the second point or the second problem is about the economic impact on our national budget or APBN. The cost is staggering. The first phase alone is estimated to cost over 466 trillion rupiah. This level of expenditure compressed into a short timeline threatens Indonesia's fiscal stability. Spending this money prematurely means less budget for essential sectors like healthcare, education, infrastructure, and poverty alleviations across the nation. This is what we call an opportunity cost. The money spent on IKN could otherwise support millions of Indonesians' immediate needs. And then also there are the Jakarta neglect paradox. So Jakarta accounts for more than 17% of Indonesia's GDP. It is the country economic backbone despite its problem with flooding, traffic congestions, pollutions, and land subsidence. Diverting funds and attention away from Jakarta to focus on IKN risk weakening this vital engine. Neglecting Jakarta's urgent issues while rushing to build a new capital could cripple the nation's economy rather than enhance it. And then so it is about the prudent and paced approach also. So there are several concerns that recommended approach for the strategy and also the pace. First one is deprioritize speed and remove arbitrary deadlines to focus on quality and sustainability. Second one is secure at least 50% of the first phase funding from private investors before major government spending to reduce fiscal pressure. And then continue to strengthening Jakarta simultaneously by investing in flood protection, and then public transportation and water management. And then the last point is initiate pilot projects by building essential government infrastructure, and then also demonstrating viability and attracting investment organically. And then also now we're talking about the current grand visions and also our current reality right now. So the government vision is undeniably brilliant for a world-class sustainable forest city that drive equitable growth across Indonesia and finally solve Jakarta's chronic issues of congestion and sinking. The funding model was supposed to be 50-50 split between the state budget and private investment. However, the current reality reveals a dangerous disconnect. As of now, the project is being propelled forward by political momentum, not financial certainly. Then the foundational pillar of its funding, which is the foreign and private capital, remain almost entirely unsecured. Then, where are the investors? Well, actually, this investment distribution chart for Jakarta is the most telling evidence. It shows that in 2024, nearly 50% of all FDI and DDI still flowed into South Jakarta. So, where are the investors for IKN? This, well, actually, there are several reasons for the investors. The first one is high risk and long horizons. Building a new capital city is a 20 until 30-year endeavor. Investors see enormous upfront risk with the zero guaranteed short to medium term return. It's a speculative venture on a national scale. The second problem also about the global economic headwinds. With persistent inflations, high interest rates, and geopolitical conflicts, global capital is cautious. Investors are fleeing to safety and established markets, not away from them. They are not in the mood for grand and also the risky experiments. The last one is about the lack of tangible incentive. While there has been too much talk of tax breaks and ease of business, the concrete, legally binding regulatory framework and financial package for IKN are not yet compelling enough to divert the billions required from proven, profitable hubs like Jakarta. Well, from all those statements, well, I want to give some conclusion in here. Well, actually, it is also, especially for the investors, to proceed with rapid constructions without secured private funding is the financial equivalent of building a mansion on a foundation of sand. The state, and by extensions the Indonesia public, is left holding 100% of the bag if the project stalls or fails. And then also, the visions of IKN is a worthy long-term goal for Indonesia. However, a rapid forced relocation is not the best choice for our economic future and fiscal health. It is a gamble with the public money, dependent on hopeful assumptions about unsecured foreign investment, and it is inefficiently diverts precious funds from immediate pressing national needs across 17,000 islands. So, based from all the statements, my recommendation it is that we must advocate for a slow paced and financially sustainable approach, an approach that prioritizes securing investment first, and then also maintains Indonesia's current economic, and then ensure that the dream of IKN does not become a nightmare for our economy. I think that's all from my discussion. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.